I stopped sewing because I love sewing and started sewing because I thought the internet expected me to sew. Every project became content. Every design became a pattern of some sort that I could sell. Every idea I thought of hit the wall of, will this make a great post? Will this make a great reel? Instead of, do I actually want to make this? Hi, gang. Today we're chatting. Burnout is real, and sometimes you don't even notice it. And this is how I realized I was creatively burnt out. So for the past month and a half, I have not touched my sewing machine, and that's rare for me. Literally for the last 3 years, I've sewn at least one thing every week. And the truth is, I just didn't want to. Now I know that's okay, but in the beginning I was like, what is going on? This is my job. This is how I make money. I do sewing patterns. I make my own clothes. If I don't want to sew, what does that mean for my financial future? And also, more importantly, my creativity. I've been sewing for so long now, so the idea of not doing it produced some anxiety for me. We can just say that. What's interesting though is never once in this 6 to 7 week period did I think, maybe I'm burnt out. Instead, I thought maybe I've lost my passion. Maybe I need a different career. Maybe the feeling's gone. I've had my moment. But looking back now, none of those things were true. I was just exhausted. So what led us here? Let's rewind back about, what month is it? 2 months. Let's rewind back to the first week of March. I had this amazing opportunity to do double duty, a pop-up and a workshop with a super cool luxury men's fashion brand called Todd Patrick here in Atlanta. I was so thankful for the opportunity and could not pass it up. So I was like, you know what? I got 3 weeks. I learned about the pop-up the first week of March, and it would be June 7th. That was the date we decided on. That's the date that worked for everyone. So I was like, okay, great. I got 3 weeks to make some pieces. Another caveat was that spring and summer pieces would work better. And if you've been following me for a while, especially over on Instagram, you know my wardrobe is built for fall year round. I love a button up. I love a jacket. I love a pair of jeans. I rarely make shorts, but I'm getting ahead of myself because I did. But yeah, so I spent the first 2 weeks drafting out 2 new sewing patterns. So one was a tie front button up, which I really enjoyed. And then another one was an apron short put together. Both patterns were a fun project for me to really experiment with what I want to wear in spring and summer and what I'd like to see, as well as still having some personality. But it took a while to make. And then after I made and finalized the sewing pattern, I also had to grade it so I could sew up multiple sizes for the pop-up. And you know what? On paper, all of this felt possible because this is my full-time job. So this project became one long sprint, drafting the patterns, testing the patterns, filming content. Then in the final week alone, I sewed 8 pieces. To get that done, I canceled plans, happily. I ate well, tried to get enough sleep, and I genuinely believed I was doing everything right to take care of myself and make this work. But what I didn't realize is that burnout isn't just caused by neglecting yourself or not eating well, not sleeping. It can also come as a result from caring too much too long. And I was in that sprint for a while. Those 3 weeks truly felt like crunch time and game time. If anything, when you're in fight or flight, and it's not that serious, my cortisol wasn't through the roof, but I was on every day to make sure I could produce what I wanted to the quality that I want and to just show up with things that I was proud of. So it happened. I did it. I showed up, and I made 8 pieces, but I showed up with 5 because I ended up wearing 3 of the pieces. One of the jackets, the shirts, and the pants, because I was like, I can't show up to my own pop-up not wearing the new. And unfortunately, I did not have time to make the new for me. So I sacrificed selling 3 pieces to wear them that day, and then the rest got to be on display. I also hosted a 4-hour workshop, and that was really fun. And also ended up kind of foreshadowing where I want to go in this next chapter for me as a person and Happily Dressed, because being around those people and getting to teach people in person, interact with people in person was so rewarding. So over the last 2 months, this is what I've learned and come to the conclusion of. 1, I need greater separation between work and my life. So currently, I live in a place where my studio is also present. So I wake up, I pass it every day to go to the kitchen to make breakfast or to leave my house because I leave out of my back door because my friend doesn't matter. But I'm always seeing my job. So imagine these last 6 weeks of not sewing. I'm constantly walking past my studio being like, oops, still not sewing today. Oop, another project I haven't finished. What do people expect? Like all of these questions and like products of anxiety would come up constantly when I pass my studio in my house, which I can't get away from because I gotta pass it to eat, I gotta pass it to sleep. So it was unavoidable. Two, I may benefit from having eggs in different baskets. So yes, sewing is my full-time job. Content creation is my full-time job, but it doesn't mean it has to be my only job. So it definitely had me thinking about pursuing a career outside of the internet so I could freely honor the natural flow I think our creativity has, because I haven't wanted to sew in 6 weeks, but because it's my job, I feel like at some point I would have to force myself to sew or I would not be making money, which is not a fun thought for me personally to have. I like to honor the way I'm feeling and not push past it because of money. So yes, I could benefit from eggs in multiple baskets financially. Three, I could supplement my creativity in other ways that are not a part of my business. So during that period, I actually, to stay creative, started drawing in Procreate. And that's something that I've kind of always wanted to do in the back of my head, but felt like it's something I didn't have time for. But I would spend on average like an hour and a half to 2 hours just sketching, finding inspo on Pinterest, and then making my own version of that. And it was so lovely to not record it, to not think, oh, I need to post this, or how can I monetize this? It was simply, let's just see what we can do. And there was no rules, which I really liked. There was no end goal. Like I could have kind of a thought of like where I thought the piece would go, and then I'd veer off and be like, oh, okay, great. I love this. One of them is this beautiful cat you see right here. This paper is a little flimsy, so I'm holding on tight. And lastly, number 4, I think. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop measuring my creativity based on productivity. I can do something and it not turn into something I share on the internet or something that makes me money. I can just do it to do it. And that's something I think this whole period of time has taught me, is that life exists off of the internet. I love to share. I love that the internet allows us to share and see perspectives we may not have ever been to in our lifetime without the internet, but it is a window into others' lives, not the whole house. And for me, with this being my job, I feel like I turned it into the house. Like, oh, I need to record this, I need to do this. Like I started to create just for content creation, not for myself. So I had to strip it back completely. Burnout doesn't happen because you start to hate what you do. I think burnout happens because you love what you do so much, you don't realize your own limits and when you need to take a break and when you need to rest and when you don't need to share things. I wasn't burnt out from just sewing. I was burnt out from holding so many identities of pattern maker, fashion designer, content creator, editor. That's what I hate the most. We'll see if this video even gets up. Holding all of those titles at once and constantly doing it from a place of, oh, I need to make content is not sustainable. But all of this helped me realize something that was hard to admit at first, and that is I stopped sewing because I love sewing and started sewing because I thought the internet expected me to sew. Every project became content. Every design became a pattern of some sort that I could sell. Every idea I thought of hit the wall of, will this make a great post? Will this make a great reel? Instead of, do I actually want to make this? How will this item or this garment or this idea enrich my life? So if you're watching this and happen to also feel disconnected from the thing you love, I hope you don't immediately assume that the passion is gone. Maybe your relationship to it just needs to change. Burnout isn't always telling you to quit. Sometimes it's asking you to create stronger boundaries between what you love and why you do it. So I'm still figuring out what that looks like for me. I think part of it is downsizing my space and getting a separate space, which in Atlanta can be really hard to do. But I also believe in divine timing and things working out. And let's just say some things are in the works. So new studio space is loading. and new place for me to finally have a place that feels like home and not just a place where I work, sleep, and eat. I'm super excited. And I feel like I'm ready to share more of that with you guys. Maybe it also means finding work that isn't sitting in front of a camera and talking to you guys, even though I love to do that. Maybe it's hosting more workshops in person at this said studio that is coming soon. Regardless, I'm open to where this new season will lead me. You can't outrun burnout, but you can definitely learn from it. So this is my attempt. Let's see how it goes. For all things happily dressed, previous makes, maybe future makes, and definitely more conversations like this one, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Liking this video is one small act you can do, and free, to help me and this channel grow. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.